Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Huddle for Friday, April 29th of 2022. We're back on Zoom. Last Friday, we were live from the Westchester Regional Library at the Mogul Maker Expo, which was a gathering of small business owners, a gathering of over 12 technical assistance providers, support partners that were there to assist small business owners in one site with many of the things that they would need to not only start a business, because there were a lot of people that were starting, but also to grow their business the right way. And so I was so happy that we had a packed house. We had over 150 small businesses register for that event. And I think that just about most of them were there because we had a packed house. If we had 10 more, I don't think we could have managed. So that was exciting. It was posted on Hot 105. It got a lot of traction. And I'm really thankful to all our partners that help us spread the word about that great event. Mogul Maker Expo is something that is a partnership between the mayor's office and our libraries, which have a wealth. You guys know from being in the huddle that we've talked about the libraries and what a great resource they can be, giving you free access to tools and resources that back in the day would cost you many thousands of dollars. And so I'm really pleased to be working with them. We're going to be doing Mogul Maker Expo every 2.5 to 3 months. And the next one is going to be at the North Dade Regional Library, thereabouts of June and July. So please stay tuned for that. And it's a chance for us to gather in person now that the pandemic is becoming something that is in the rearview mirror, although we still have to be careful. It's something we're going to have to manage in our daily lives. And hopefully that'll provide us an opportunity to meet in person and not just on Zoom. So I was excited about that. That being said, next week is National Small Business Week, as you just heard, and we're celebrating that today. And we've invited the commissioner, this District 5 Commissioner, Eileen Higgins' senior team, to talk to us about all the great things that they're planning for Small Business Week and some of the things that they're planning to do to support small business owners post-pandemic. And as you know, they have been very active and were instrumental in providing much needed assistance during the dark time of the pandemic. And I'll let them speak. We'll talk about that with them. I'll let them speak on that themselves. But really, they have been spearheading many initiatives that have been very innovative and have helped to get the funding and support that small business owners need to be effective. And so today we have Ms. Maggie Fernandez, the Chief of Staff for Commissioner Eileen Higgins. The commissioner couldn't be here today because she had another prior appointment, but she sent her top team. And like I said, Maggie Fernandez, Chief of Staff. And we also have Ms. Ana Montes, Legislative and Policy Analyst, with us today. Please help me welcome Maggie and Anna to the Morning Huddle. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday to all.
Thank you so
much.
much.
So lovely to see so many beautiful faces. I love it. And so many familiar faces as well. So thank you so much, Danilo, for having us on today's Morning Huddle. I hope that we continue to participate because this seems to be like quite an exciting Zoom call you have going. So thank you so much for the leadership of the mayor. Thank you so much for your leadership in bringing us all together on a weekly basis. We really appreciate it. So I'm going to just give a little background and history on how we got to where we're at in District 5. And then I'm going to pass it on to Ana Montes and Alexina, who's somewhere. She's our partner with Access Helps is our partner in this new District 5 small business programming. So I'll pass it on to them. But briefly, I'll just give you an overview. So the pandemic was rough on many, not the least small businesses, many of which were forced to close their doors. Commissioner Higgins, I call her Higgins, sorry. Commissioner Higgins, a small business owner herself, understands the struggles of small businesses. Her own small business was forced to shut down during the pandemic. She owns a series of CrossFit gyms with her family. So, gyms had to close. So she understands the struggles. Well, the county got a large allocation from the federal government through the CARES Act. And one of the things that she prioritized with a wonderful group of CDFIs, actually it was their idea, And they came to our office with their idea to create the Rise Loan Fund, which is a revolving loan fund to give loans, low interest loans to small businesses across the county. We did that successfully. We issued about $20 million worth of loans with the help of our CDFIs and the Miami-Dade Federal Credit Union, who is the loan administrator. And we were able to, Anna, correct me if I'm wrong, how many families, 4,500 families we were able to assist 8,000 businesses?
It was 900 businesses.
900.
But over 4,500 families in total.
So, but the other positive part of Rise is that it really did highlight, we collected a lot of data while we did the Rise program, and it highlighted the existing long-term gaps in our small business ecosystem. So from the lessons learned of Rise Miami-Dade, since December, District 5 has been working with Access Helps to develop a program for District 5 businesses. And we've already started to implement the program, or we started the program, but we're going to officially launch it on Tuesday. And it's called Elevate District 5. We call it Elevate D5. And we're really excited to launch the program, to talk about the program here today. And we're excited that we're launching it during Small Business Week. So we also, in addition to the mayor's office, we have our own schedule of events that Anna and Alexina will talk about, celebrating National Small Business Week in District 5 with District 5 small businesses. So I hope that gave you a little context to why we're here and why we decided to create the Elevate D5 program for District 5. So Anna.
Maggie.
Yes.
Maggie, I wanted to ask you before we pass it over to Anna. And by the way, I want to encourage everybody. This is a conversation. That's what makes the huddle special, is that we're all in a conversation here. And if you have a comment or question for our guest today, please raise your hand and I'll pass you the mic. Some more folks are coming in, so let me let them in. But Maggie, is it okay for me to show the flyer for Elevate?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me put that on the screen, and you can maybe walk us through it.
Oops. Okay, sure.
Can you see it?
I cannot.
Are you able to see it,
I
Maggie?
will open it on my screen.
Okay. Can everybody else see it? Anna, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. So I love the graphics, first of all.
Thank you.
I love the name because it's English and Spanish, right?
Yes. So
and yes, tell us about it.
I'm breaking up. So Anna, maybe are you breaking up?
Yes. No, I can do it. Yes, so the idea with the program is that we're using all the data we have collected and as well as the feedback that we have received to create, leverage, and also expand a lot of existing programs and tools. So Commissioner Higgins and our office, we're partnering with a lot of local and national organizations, other community resources to really offer the tools that our businesses need in order to prosper. Because the idea is that we're at a new stage of economic development after COVID. And now every business that made it through, now they can prosper more. So that's the idea with Elevate D5. So we already launched one tech academy with Prospera USA back in March in Little Havana. And now we have a new one coming up in June for Miami Beach businesses. That one's in Spanish, but we're also doing programs in English because our district has the great diversity, which is one of our biggest strengths, to really be able to do programming in both languages. And now we have one coming up with BizHack that the applications are open right now. And we will drop the link on the chat because if you're a small business in District 5, please apply. This is a free resource and it's really, really great. So we have our program goals is to really foster a lasting supportive environment for District 5 small businesses and really create that sense of community where they can rely on each other and on our office as well. So as Maggie mentioned, we have put together a really great calendar of events for next week. We've reached out to a lot of our community partners and we included those there, but we're also, our own office is putting up together a few things. The first thing that we have coming up is on Monday, we have the launch of our Mom and Pop program, which, as you guys know, is offered in every district. And ours this year, as always, is going to be English and Spanish, and businesses can receive up to $5,000. If you're in District 5, please reach out and apply. If you're not in District 5, reach out to your business commissioner, because a lot of their programs are currently open, or they will be opening soon.
Wait, hold on, Annette. I'm hearing some turbulence. If I can ask everybody to mute themselves, please, so we can make sure that we isolate the noise.
Retha, they talking to you.
Miss Retha?
Retha, mute yourself.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Okay, you're okay, Miss. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually traveling, so I had to take that call, but I apologize for good morning. I may have to log off, but
Okay,
always like to participate. Sorry about that.
No worries, thank you. Okay, that sounds better. Okay, Anna, sorry, we have to rewind just a tad bit to you were saying about the program goals. Yes.
Yeah, so Mom and Pop, our program goes live on Monday. Applications will be available on our website, but also via the Elevate District 5 website, which I will drop the link on the chat. And there you can also see all the other programs that we have available in our district right now. Then on Tuesday, we have the official launch of Elevate D5. And also we're going to have the premiere of a RISE documentary, which really highlights the RISE Fund, the results that it had, and the impact that it had on businesses. So that's really important for Commissioner Higgins, since it was her legislation and she worked so hard to create this program with our local city FIs and the Dade County Credit Federal Union. So we're really excited about that. And then we're also going to have a panel discussion on the state and the future of District 5 businesses and all of Miami-Dade County. Then on Wednesday,
Anna,
yes.
You know, Danilo, I offer for those who can't attend the event on Tuesday, where we would be happy to show the Rise Miami-Dade documentary on one of your future morning huddles. It's really, it's a little bit of a tearjerker, but in a very positive, good way, in the way that it highlights our small businesses.
Yeah, I think I've seen a preview of it, and it's really powerful because it was seeing the small business owners and that appreciation, Maggie, that they had for everybody who stepped in during their time of need, especially District 5. It was touching from just the preview that I saw. And I think that's the one that you're talking about. Is there a new one?
Well, this is the final cut. So it's finally all wrapped up with a beautiful bow.
Okay. Very cool. Now, is it okay for me to show the sign up for your event on the 3rd?
Sure.
All right, because I have that here. And walk us through. This is a celebration of the launch, right?
Yes. And continue.
I think it's here. Yes.
Yes. So as I mentioned, we will have we're going to have a lot of small business owners participating. We're going to have our community partners, everybody that we're partnering with. So Prospera, BizHack, Danilo, I believe you'll also be there. So please, if you have not received the invitation, I will drop the link on the chat so you can register. But also feel free to reach out and I can help you register if you have any issues. So we'll have a little reception, then we'll have a panel discussion at the RISE documentary premiere, and then we'll have a panel discussion. So we're really excited about that. Then on Wednesday, we're going to have a small business mixer in Brickell. And of course, you're all invited. Dropping that link on the chat as well. And we're really looking forward to it because it's really going to be a good opportunity for small businesses to connect with financial institutions, other small business providers, and other businesses that are in the community. So on Thursday and Friday, we are partnering with different county departments to offer little webinars and workshops to really add those skills and offer those resources that our county have. And sometimes small business owners just are not aware. So on Thursday, we're partnering with Debris-Free Oceans, and then the Division of Environmental Resource Management to do a webinar on how to become a certified plastic-free 305 business. So plastic-free 305 was created through legislation by Commissioner Higgins, And it's a really great alternative when you're ready to take that step to become a more sustainable business. So the webinar is going to be divided into parts. First, you're going to have how do we complete that certification, and then what alternatives you have to eliminate plastic in your business. And then on Friday, we are working with ISD, and we're going to have a webinar on how to become a county vendor. We've received a lot of feedback and a lot of comments from our businesses in previous mom and pop cycles that's process sometimes is not as understandable to them as it should be. So we're really excited. And of course, you're all invited to those too. And I'm dropping the link on the chat.
Fantastic. That is a lot of stuff, Anna and Maggie.
Yes.
That's
and
fantastic.
If you go on our Elevate District 5 /SBW, so Small Business Week, you can see the full calendar of events. We've added a lot of things and we continue adding as they become available. A lot of them are workshops that are being put together by other organizations. So there's a lot of tools and a lot of resources, and we really want to make sure that this website and Elevate District 5 is not only has an impact on our district, but on other districts as well.
Fantastic. Yes, that's what I was going to ask you about that. But before we talk about that part, I want to encourage everybody who's on the call today, right? If you have a question or a comment for Anna or Maggie, please don't be shy. Raise your hand and I will pass you the mic. That being said, that's one of the things that really has been impressive, Maggie, and that this has been such a blessing, not only for the businesses in District 5, but really the impact has been beyond that. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, the point of Elevate D5, by the way, is to also pilot new types of programs or existing programs in different ways so that potentially we can then work with the mayor's office to expand these programs countywide. So I think that's exciting to use a district or to use, by the way, all of our Elevate D5, I don't know if you know all this, but commissioners received $2 million from American Rescue, from ARPA funds to use for COVID recovery or infrastructure. And what Commissioner Higgins decided to do with her $2 million is completely invest it in small business programming and in events and in pilots. We're interested to learn about different things that other communities are doing or different things you all are doing and seeing how we could pilot it in our district so that then we could expand it and make it available through the mayor's office to all districts. So I think that's one way that what we're doing is going to help districts, all 13 districts. The other thing we did is through RISE, it was really important to Commissioner Higgins that those LUNs be distributed equitably and fairly across all 13 commission districts. So we did achieve that. And you know what, Anna, can we put in the link for the RISE report? The RISE report has a chock full of like data and information per district. And for the county, which you may all find interesting. Something that we also realized, by the way, through COVID is that not just only the county, but there really isn't good data out there for small businesses. There's not one place where we can go to and to get data, and we haven't really been asking our small businesses through programs like Mom and Pop for data that will help us then provide programming that will help them, that will facilitate. One data point that we found out through RISE, and Alexina, maybe you could talk about this, is that 88% of the small businesses who received RISE funding had never sought a loan before. Can you talk about that?
Definitely. So we were able to collect a lot of data, both demographic data, but also around the number of employees you have, the revenue, just kind of information on the scale and size of the businesses that received the RISE Loan Fund. And then we asked two really crucial questions around, had you received a loan before? And had you received technical assistance before? We worded this differently. That term can be, used in a number of different ways, but consulting, mentoring, advice. Had you received outside support for your small business? And 88% had never received a loan before. I'm going to go find the exact number for technical assistance, but I believe it was around 70% had never received any outside advice. So the bulk of our small business owners, and this was a sample size of 900, but are not necessarily connected, aren't receiving the resources that are available, aren't, getting all the help that is there. So that's why this program too is so exciting, because the purpose of it is really to elevate, really to bring the programs that exist to more people. And as Maggie was saying, hopefully expand it beyond District 5. A lot of the events for next week, everyone is welcome to. They aren't District 5 specific, but we did drop a link in the chat too to find out who your commissioner your district is. It's such an important thing to know as a small business owner. So we really encourage you all to figure that out and definitely reach out to that office, whoever it might be, to connect with them. So all of that information is in the RISE report, but we are so excited to be collecting data around this to really get a picture of our small business owners.
Danilo, if you allow me, I'm reading a comment from the chat group from Sabine, and she's correct that it is a cultural thing. We literally had to knock on doors to get people to apply for RISE. We have what is it, like 80% or about that small businesses in District 5 are like Spanish speaking. So they do not know what it's like to get a loan, and they don't trust a loan. They don't understand it. They rather put debt on a credit card than seek a loan. So we had to knock on doors. In fact, Commissioner Higgins used her own office funds to pay Urban Impact Lab to knock on doors throughout the entire county, not just in our district, to make sure that people knew about RISE. But Alexina, were you part of that team?
Yeah, it was awesome. We went, it was during COVID, which was, definitely scary times, but people weren't applying for it and we needed to get the funding out. It was, federal funding, and it would have gone back if it hadn't been distributed. So we went door to door, knocking on business owners, making sure we had, all of the 3 main languages represented in Miami, and speaking to them about it, and, really just letting them know the details, all of the information. We weren't distributing those funds, so we were kind of in this third party space where we really were there just because we knew the benefit of applying for it, and the need that was there. So, but it was, yeah, there's so many predatory things out there too. We all know South Florida is a really hot spot for predatory loans. So making sure that the information that is created for small business owners and with good faith is out there is so crucial.
Yeah, it really, and
Wow.
by doing that, it really helped build a relationship built on trust. A lot of our small businesses don't trust government. They're fiercely independent, and they don't want to depend on government for anything. But in building a level of trust with our office and with Alexina and her team, it's really been very beneficial to now getting them to participate in our other programming that's just going to help them do a better job of managing their small business and growing it, if that's what they choose to do.
Wow, that, and I want to encourage everybody, please, if you have a question or a comment, please raise your hand and I'll pass you the mic. That being said, was there any other data point? And I mean, that one's a very important one that you cited, because I feel like in coaching small business owners that they have great ideas, but sometimes they undercapitalize the business idea and it doesn't allow it for it to grow to what it could grow to, right? And so was there any other data point that really spoke to you about the data you gathered during the process of RISE Miami-Dade?
I have 2 that I can share. One is that 98% of our businesses in Miami-Dade County have 10 employees or less. And the other one is that 76% have 1 million in revenue or less. So we have incredibly micro businesses, but there are so many of them. There's over 65,000 in that category. So a lot of the programs and resources that we want to create and we want to elevate need to think about that in mind. They need to think about the size and scale of revenue. How much capital can they realistically take? A lot of loan applications start at the question of how much funding do you need? But sometimes the first step is, have you even ever have you had funding? Do you understand, what this takes? So I think a lot of our language and information that's out there is around like trying to say, look how large a loan you could receive, but sometimes that can be really scary and intimidating for someone who's never had one before. So I think the more we can collect data, the more we can really create these programs for the people they're meant to serve. We have very little data on what businesses are women-owned, which ones are minority-owned, which ones are which language they speak. There's very limited data on that. So that's also a piece that I would just encourage everyone in the room, whether you're a small business owner or you support small business owners, to collect information that will create more programs. Those are my favorite data points, but I could talk for a while. So.
Those are eye-opening, Alexina. Wow, 98%, 10 employees or less, and 76% of small businesses with less than 1 million in revenue. Huge opportunity for us to grow. So that being said, I think Yasnay and then Althea have a comment or question. Yasnay?
Yes, good morning. Sorry, I just joined and I just wanted to point out something that I keep seeing and I think is important to address. And just to introduce myself, I'm a micro business catalyst. I help micro business owners to take control of their finances, increase profits, implement efficient systems, and I do it mainly in collaboration with community development organizations. So many of my partners are in this call, and I want to talk on behalf of small business owners and as a provider, the cycle that many of these businesses are enclosed in, not having their numbers in order, not being able to do their taxes on time because they have to catch up for a whole year of organization, right? The main challenge that I see with people coming for help is that they are willing to get their numbers in order. They're ready, but now you have to pay for 2 or 3 years worth of work, and they don't have the money to do that at a time, right? So it's $2,000-3,000 investment that they're like, how do I pay for it? But I need this so I can do my taxes, so I can apply for the loan, so I can, get to the next level. And it's a never-ending cycle. So as you strategize on getting funding for businesses, on giving away grants, consider that when you give a business owner money and you put it in their hand, they're gonna do what in their mind is urgent. They're gonna pay for rent, they're gonna pay for the employees, and then that number mess is gonna still be there. What I'm doing, and it's been working very well with some of my partners in the community, is that the nonprofit or whoever is giving the grants, they pay the provider directly, right? So now they pay professionals like me to put the books in order for a whole year, do the taxes. Now you're up to date, right? So I want to just put it out there because I know there is a lot of opportunities in the community. I know there are strategies to give grants, to give funding, but gosh, we need to get them out of the hole. Sometimes it's 2-3 years worth of work that we have to catch up, and they need the support to make it happen. So thank you.
Thank you, Yasnay. Maggie, Anna, did you want to comment, or Alexina? Thank you so much for that. Yasnay, I think I was on mute.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. In fact, when I was a small business owner in 2013, I had a mess. So I didn't have an accountant. I thought I had filed my taxes because I paid somebody and they weren't filed. So it was a mess. So even for somebody sophisticated like myself, or I thought I was, yeah, I had to then get an accountant and pay $2,000 to $3,000, exactly that amount, to fix everything that I had and get into QuickBooks. I didn't have QuickBooks before. So you make an excellent point, And that's something that we're going to be addressing through Elevate D5. Prospera is right now, USA is right now creating a course for us that is going to teach for free the participants how to set up their systems through QuickBooks, and then we're going to pay for their subscription, at least for the first year. So yeah, I duly noted.
Thank you for
Maggie.
that. That's a great start. I'm one of the providers with Prospera, by the way. But
Amazing.
but honestly, we can teach them, we can support them with a subscription. That's a great start. But the implementation, the catch up of 2-3 years worth of work, that's another level. So thank you for the work you're doing, and integrating this part will be amazing.
And we could, something that we could actually, something that we've done in our office with our mom and pop grants is every year we've targeted either a certain group of businesses or a certain type of grant, like a certain type of thing that they need at that moment. And we specify the use of funds. So it may be a good idea actually to, when we launch our mom and pop program, to put a focus on this part of small business, of this specific part. I don't know. We have to think about that, guys.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity. Great opportunity. And Yasnaya has been talking about that for quite a while. And so I'm glad that we're moving in that direction of the hands-on training and support while they get their house in order, right? I think that's important. Thank you so much, Yasnaya. I'm going to go next to Miss Althea Harris from the SBA.
Hey, friends. Thanks so much. I love the way this conversation has turned a little bit. And I just wanted to, before I touch on that a little bit, just say thank you to Commissioner Higgins and these fabulous ladies on today who have made it her business and their business to help small businesses. I loved hearing that the commissioner, took all of her money and supported small business. That's huge. And we already have heard the stats on how many small businesses are here, how many of them are micro businesses. And so congratulations, ladies. I'm so excited. I checked out Elevate District 5, your website. There's great programming there. So yay, that's all I have to say to that. And if there's anything we can do to support what you're doing at the Small Business Administration, please do let me know. I'm so glad that Yasnaya brought up what she brought up, because that if we can work through that proposed solution, that would be a great help for sure to small businesses, because she neatly outlined the cataclysmic effect of not doing your books, right? That happens, but yet. When even you think about offering a grant to someone, right, on some level, you still want to see the numbers, right? So that'll still be a challenge. And I would love to know from the small business owners on the line, listen, we already know that you're stuck in that loop. But for those folks who are on the line, why aren't your taxes done on time? Why aren't your books done? And what is the impediment that's keeping you from doing that? And I will accept any answer to that question. And let me just go ahead and put the one out there that I suspect is part of the problem. You don't like that part of your business ownership. You like doing hair. You like trying cases. You like pouring concrete. Okay. All right. So I just put it out there to just save y'all the embarrassment of having to say that out loud. Okay. But what other reasons are keeping the small business owners? I think it would be great to have some information on that, because that is a chronic problem. And I will tell you, it is the singular reason that many people were not able to take advantage of all of the dollars that SBA put out on the street from COVID relief, whether it was the Restaurant Revitalization Fund grant, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, or the grants associated with the EIDL for COVID. That is if you don't have your filed taxes for 2019 filed on time, that is a non-starter for everything that we did. So Yasne, you talked about, the real importance of that, and I'm just underscoring that, but I just really would like to know what is keeping small business owners from making the investment in having their infrastructure, the financial infrastructure in place, so that we, the SBA, we, Prospera, we, the Community Navigators Program, we, the Small Business Development Center, we, SCORE, we, Marcela, I saw your name pop up on here, at the Community Fund of North Dade. What can we do to help y'all get over those humps? Thanks, Danilo.
Thank you, Ms. Althea. I'm going to give Maggie a chance to respond or make a comment about that. Maggie?
Okay, hi. I'd like to hear from the business owners too, but I just text Anna right now, and I'm like, we're, as part of any type of funding or programming that goes on through Elevate T5, we're actually collecting a lot of data. And I just asked her right now, I'm like, should we ask about financial infrastructure in our applications? So I think that you make an excellent point, and I think that's where our programming and local government can help, because we're the closest to our businesses. And if we build a level of trust, they will be more willing to listen to us.
Perfect,
I
Maggie.
agree.
Thank you. I'm gonna go now. We're gonna go now to our small business owners. We have them lined up with their hands up, so I want to get to all of them. First up is Miss Gasleen, who's working her magic at the salon. Gasleen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gasleen. I'm a hairstylist and wig maker at Lavish Touches Hair. Also, I am like I said, wig maker for Threaded by Lavish. And this is a great topic that we're having, because if I'm not having this discussion with my sister, it's other, business owners. And to go on what Yasne was saying, it's true. We getting these money or whatever, or people are coming on these calls just to get grants. But what are you really doing with the money? You're not investing into your business, or, learning how to properly level and scale your business. So I feel, honestly, yes, you guys do need to have sources to help us learn how to money manage, how to grow our business. I was focused more on the front end before the back end. It took COVID to wake me up and realize, hold up, you're doing everything wrong. You need to focus on your back office while working to be able to scale, so you could get better opportunities and stuff of that nature. Once we get these education classes that you guys are providing for free, then yes, the grants that are giving, it should be able to now go towards the business. A lot of people are throwing us at capitals and stuff, but what if your back office, or you just a business starting, how are you gonna get that money to pay back those loans that's being offered? So they need to find different ways to help small businesses grow their business. But I love the fact, especially Alexina, what she's done, she's networked with different organizations and do like a cohort program where it's like 6 weeks or something of that nature, and they teaching you, guiding you on how to brand, market, or do anything as far as finances. You have MBF, same thing. They do the same thing. Like, I joined different programs just to grow my business. I'm not on different calls just to find out who's giving grants, and then you still don't know how to do, your back office. So I agree. We need to learn how to properly manage and grow our business before, we can level up to get the money to do whatever.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Gasleen. And it's that old conflict, right? Do you work in the business or do you work on the business, right? And so that's an important. Maggie, did you want to comment? Excuse me, on what Ms. Gasleen said, or Anna?
Agreed.
Got it. Okay, so next up is Miss Natasha. How are you, Natasha?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You have a question or comment?
Yes, I do. And thank you, Danilo. I was at the program yesterday and you told us about this, and I signed up immediately. And I look forward to coming on this on Fridays. So good morning, everybody. My name is Natasha Mateer. I'm a private jeweler and a gemologist. And I believe I'm in District 5. I'm in downtown Miami off from Northeast First, like across from the Seabold. So I'm excited about the programs that you guys are releasing and plan to join. So going back to what Yasmin said, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. For me, it was just pure ignorance, not knowing that you need to reconcile your books, because I was in insurance before as a claims adjuster and then started my business. I just had an idea to just start making jewelry. So I didn't know like all of the back ends. And I learned from YouTube, to be honest. I was a YouTube University student and on Google. And a lot of what YouTube focus on is like get on Shopify, make the money, but there's no information on managing your books, having QuickBooks. So I just did not know. And now I'm going to be 3 years in the business in June, and I have to reconcile the books from June 2019. And every bookkeeper that I've asked about that is thousands of dollars, and trying to secure like diamonds and gold, you want to get your clients these things and you want to do your books, but it's like, okay, I'm going to put it off till then. But to really be up to date and apply for bigger programs and to expand, you need to have it from day one. So I would just say ignorance and just not having the capital available right then and there when you have to either pay your rent or do something else with it.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Natasha. I want to go next. And of course, Maggie, Anna, feel free to chime in, please. Okay. Next up is Anna. Did you want to say something? Yes, please.
Yes, Natasha, I believe you're definitely in our district, so feel free to reach out. I sent you my email. Feel free to reach out. We have a few programs open right now and a few that will open soon. And you could probably really take advantage of those. And I think, as many people have mentioned, there are a lot of resources. There's just a lot of like either misinformation or it's just not available. So we also have a small business newsletter that we try to send out now, like fairly often. And I can also drop the link in the chat for that, because we also just like how Danilo does with the Morning Huddle, we also try to put together every kind of like resource and anything that's available. So I'm happy to sign in people for that.
Okay, Natasha, please apply for our mom and pop grant program. Okay. Applications open on Monday. You can get up to $5,000. And I suggest that you use that money to help you get your books in order.
Okay, I definitely will do it.
Okay, good.
And Natasha, thank you so much for taking action. You heard me yesterday night. We were at Scale Up 305. I presented the huddle. You did it, and look, you got connected. That's how it works. You have to do. We all have to do our part, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to go next to Mr. Felix Martinez. Felix?
Hey guys, good morning. My name is Felix. I'm the CEO and founder of Fix It Felix. We do cell phone computers and tablet repairs. I want to attest to what Jasne says. I am actually currently one of her students in her program. Althea, I could tell you I've been denied twice in the last 3 months for the loan reconsideration, even though we provide all the proper paperwork. The reason why we do it is because as small business owners, even though I've been in business 7 years, I work more on the operational side to try to figure out how to pay my bills and how to stay in business. And I was always telling myself, you know what, next week I'll do accounting. Next week I'll do my paperwork for my sales tax. Next week I'll do my, my IRS stuff. And it's just gotten to the point where I got overwhelmed and got way behind. So we do need, as business owners, grants for people, which I'm going to be biased for Jasne to continue helping us business owners get out of the financial struggles and understand how to profit, which is working with me on through the Profit First program on it. And to be able to get grants out there for that. The other thing I struggle with, and I'm just being honest, is I know a lot of people have it, as a retail stores, when you guys do these programs, I went through the Miami-Dade Foundation but the 6:30 to 8 o'clock were my peak hours. So I had 1 ear on a customer, the other ear trying to take care of a customer. So we kind of tend, I would love to attend, all these recordings, all these sessions with everybody, but 6 o'clock, 6:30 is not for me, at least as a retail owner. Enough hours, if it makes something later, I understand how everybody has different businesses, but something later where small business owners could attend something like that, because I'm stuck in the office during those peak hours when everybody wants to do brunches at 6 o'clock, 6:30. They don't consider the stores that close at 7 o'clock for us to get there. By the time I get there, the events are over, so I won't be able to network with that. But that's just my 2 cents on that. Like I said, I'm testimonial to Jasnay. I love her to death. I owe my life to her, and I met her through the huddle, through Danilo, through this huddle in the first place. So everything that she's done for me, if you guys have, just being honest with you, financial difficulties, reach out to her. It's gonna be worth it in the long run, but it is expensive, but she'll get you down the path, and hopefully in a few months we'll have a different testimonial once she continues to work with me and get me in the right direction, guys. Sorry for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody have a good day.
Thank you so much, Felix. I really appreciate that. Again, Maggie and Anna, please feel free to chime in if you want to address anything. Because of time, we only have 7 more minutes, and I want to get to our business owners. So let's keep it flowing, guys. If I can ask for your help on that. Next up is Ms. Makiba Gassan.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Danilo, as always, for bringing everyone here and such a wealth of information. Also, Maggie and Anna from District 5 with Eileen Higgins, who's been a tremendous supporter of small businesses. Just wanted to quickly add my note. I am a small business owner, and one of the things that I have come to discover, it's not so much not wanting to do the numbers and do the books. A lot of the accountants I've been in contact with are also small business owners. And when I present to them the volume, that I'm doing, a lot of it is just, it's time consuming for them. So one of the hangups I've, kind of had an issue with is finding an accountant who is, that's a vetting process in and of itself, the time to find the right accountant and in your industry to do what you're looking exactly what to do. And, because I'm here in Miami-Dade County, I want to find someone here and support someone here in Miami-Dade County, but I've also considered having to outsource that, right? Because it's just time and finding someone who's going to be able to do it for an affordable price. So I think if we had an opportunity to connect with CPA, people who are, well-seasoned as accountants who, can help us quickly, and having maybe a database of people that small businesses like us can go to, that will cut down on some of the process as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Makiba. Again, Maggie and Anna, if you want to chime in, just please don't even worry about, just speak up. I think that's an important point. At Mogul Maker, we had 2 accounts. We had Yasnay and we had Mr. Klein. They're available to small business owners. I think that's an important point. If there's no comment, I'm going to go next to Mr. Manny Sarmiento.
Hi, yes, hi, Danilo, thanks again. I know I came on at the beginning, you gave me a minute at the beginning, so I'll make this quick. There weren't that many people online. Figure a few tips that I can give you that can help you is on the accounting side, a simple tip, QuickBooks works great, it's the best. You try to switch over to another system, and then when you go to a CPA or accountant to do your final taxes at the end of the year, they says, where's your QuickBooks file? Everybody uses QuickBooks, that's the best program. We teach it, QuickBooksTrainingCourses.com or theroutchamber.org. But other than that, I want to say, again, I want to thank Sagan's office. I really wish all the districts were the same and in her effort as to what she does. The mom and pop grants make a difference. It's easy to apply. So please encourage everybody to apply for those mom and pops. That does affect us because it's only a certain limited amount of funds. I do want to make a point here that and the mayor knows this, but I want the other commissioners and our local mayors to understand that $2,500, $5,000 makes a difference to a business. and it can keep you going. Because what I keep hearing is, oh, it's only 2,500. That's not going to help a business. That's not true. That's helped many businesses in Doral, in District 12. So, and please keep up these grants and mom and pop grants. I do wish the process was a little faster, especially now, because these businesses need the money. I've seen a lot of businesses suffer. Also, I put it in the chat. Verizon has grants. It's up to $10,000. I put it on the chat. You have to do sign up and do 2 of their courses online, which is very simple to do. Then you can apply for up to $10,000 in grants. Also, Comcast Rise. They have monies certain times of the year, monies, technology services like free Wi-Fi, internet security, and computers, PCs, laptops, and also marketing services. So they will record a commercial for you and actually put it on, I think, for 60 days on Comcast, the local markets. Lots of opportunities out there, lots of grants out there. So just keep looking. Once again, Danilo, I want to thank you. You've done a spectacular job for the mayor. Appreciate you. I'm always here for you or any of other businesses that needs help. Keep up the great work. On Ms. Higgins' office, please tell her that really appreciate what she's doing. That she's not in my district, but I love what she's doing. Maybe we'll move the chamber to District 5. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Manny. I appreciate that. Next up is Mr. Shivas. Shivas, good to see you.
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here. Good morning, everyone. I have a very unique situation. As you may or may not know, I have a comic book series, and we're looking to transition to animation. I'm not sure how that formats into the business aspect of the business grants, but we're looking to be able to transition to we already have a studio in place, and we just need to be able to get the funding to create the animated series. Is there any grants or any scenarios out there for filmmakers or artists that we can be able to use to transition into getting that film or animation series done?
Yes, please. I think first I want to let Alexina. Alexina, does anything come to mind for that kind of use?
I don't know of any that are open right now, but if you could drop your email in the chat, if anything comes up for creative specifically, I'm wondering a little bit more about your structure, because you could potentially apply, as a for-profit business. But if you could send me your email, I'll keep a lookout for that, because it is a little specific. But there was a ton of grants for creative specifically at the height of COVID, so some of those might still be open and recirculating.
Shiva, Knight Ridder is a place I would go immediately. Check out Knight Ridder, so that they do tons of grants for stuff. So that's the first place I would look.
And also, Shivas, I wanted to let you know there's another grant program that has the details haven't been released. It was for it's handled by the Miami Foundation based on the donation from Wells Fargo. I believe that the amount was 20 million for that fund. So you can want to check that out. And also, I have another idea for you. Reach out to me at danilo.vargas@miamidade.gov. You have my info. Reach out to me. I have another idea that I want to talk to you offline about that potentially could help in that application. Sound good, Shivas?
Will do. Thank you.
All right. I love the comics. They look great.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Shivas,
and our last, yes, anybody else? Maggie?
Shivas, you could start by applying for mom and pop.
I will. I got it twice in the last 8 years. So I'll apply again this year to see what happens.
I did want to mention that Leroy Jones, who created the mom and pop program, is on the call. So I just want to give a shout out to Leroy. Thank you, Leroy.
Are you there?
Thank you so much, Maggie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I want to say this if I can, Danielo. Thank you for inviting me first. And I'm ecstatic. I'm very happy to see Commissioner Higgins taking the Mom and Pop Grant Program to another level. I really am. So I'm happy to see that. Next year will mark the 25th year that the Mom and Pop Grant Program has been in existence in the county. And it started in one district, District 3, and it took on all 13 county commissioners districts maybe 4 years after that. And I think right now, 4 of the 13 commissioners are putting additional money in their program this year. And to see that, that they they want to do as much as they can for the small business community. Like when I started the mom and pop grant program, people wasn't saying mom and pop businesses. They were saying small businesses. So now mom and pop has become a household name, not only in the county, but in the country, in all the cities. So when you say mom and pop businesses, a mom and pop program, everybody know you're talking about small businesses. So I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to Commissioner Higgins, for wanting to be so involved in helping small businesses and doing everything that they can to take it to the next level. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you so much, Maggie. Thank you.
Leroy
For
started the
that.
Mom
I
and
appreciate
Pop
that.
movement 25 years ago. So
Yeah.
thank you for all you do, Leroy.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Mr. Leroy, thank you for always supporting the Morning Huddle, being here with us since day one. So I appreciate you for everything that you do. Thank you. That being said, the last word I'm going to give to Maggie. But before we do, Stacy has her hand up. She'll be our last business owner for today. Miss Stacy?
Good morning, Danilo. Good morning, everyone. And thank you. I am Stacy C from Stacy's Naturals. And I am very grateful for the Mom and Pop program. It's actually the only grant I've been able to qualify for. And it has been very impactful in my business. And I have applied for every grant that was out there during the pandemic. I spent a lot of nights, sleepless nights, applying for grants, and I didn't qualify for any of them. Even the Comcast Rise, I applied, and I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong. I don't know if you have any input you can give. Maybe it's the wording or certain things need to be said. And in applying for the grants, that might be helpful for us in knowing how to write the grants, what they're looking for. If you have any input in that area, I'll appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Stacy. Any comments from that, Maggie or Anna? Any tips?
I think in that case, in what district are you located?
I am in District 8.
Okay, yeah, I think definitely there's a lot of organizations that offer resources, organizations like Prospera or like what Just Night does. There's a lot of organizations that can help you with the process of applying, because a lot of times it's that different grants look for specific things in the applications. And in our case, we don't really work with those. But definitely reach out to organizations in your district or in Miami-Dade County that do this process and get all the resources that you need. Because something that we did find when COVID happened is that many times the reason business owners couldn't apply for things is because they didn't have the documents at the ready. And these applications sometimes are just so difficult to manage and so difficult to go through. I helped my family. My brother has a small business, and I helped him complete some applications during COVID. And even for me, who does this kind of work, it was difficult. So yeah, definitely reach out and definitely try to find resources of people who can walk you through the process.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Stacy. And also, you reach out to me, please. I would love to sit down with you and look at some of the applications and see if I can provide some tips, because essentially it's like a marketing challenge, right? You got to convince the grant that this is an investment that they need to make, right? So it's a marketing challenge, and I'm kind of good at those things. So please reach out to me. I'd love to work with you in person, and I can connect you to another huddler, which is Miss Lakeisha from Bell Tower Consulting, who is a master grant writer who may also be able to support you, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Stacy. That being said, guys, we're at the end of the time. We went a little bit over, but the conversation today was very rich. I want to thank Maggie, Anna, Alexina for being here. And I want to give you ladies the final word. Anything else you want to add as we go into Small Business Week on Sunday, which is when it starts? What do you guys want to project or communicate to the small business owners on the call and throughout all of Miami-Dade County?
What I want to say is that county government is here to help. We're not just throwing money at the problem. We are actually, for the first time, I feel, in a very long time, being very intentional and strategic about how we can help our small businesses. I want to thank Danilo for creating this wonderful community. I'd like to see more District 5 businesses participate so that you can continue learning from each other. I mean, this is fantastic. Thank you to the mayor. Thank you to Danilo, and thank you to all of you for taking the time to participate in this call. It's giving me goosebumps. And then also participate in Small Business Week. There's a ton of events.
Thank you so much, Maggie, for that. I really appreciate that. Anna?
Yeah, and if I may add, any decision and anything that we're doing with Elevate 5 is informed by what we've learned from the businesses in our district and in Miami-Dade County over the past few years since the commissioner has been in office. And it's through conversations like this that we really learn of like, okay, where are the gaps that we need to fill? What are the things that we need to implement? So we really look forward to hearing any feedback that you have of things that you would like to see as a part of Elevate 5. And we really hope to see you at all of our events for the Small Business Week.
Thank you so much, Anna. And Alexina, did you want to add anything?
Yes, I would just love to add that next week is going to be exciting. There are so many things happening. So tune in as much as you can, but just know that these things exist beyond next week. There's a ton of support this Morning Huddle every single Friday. It's a consistent resource. So, join in as much as you can next week. We'd love to see a lot of you in person, but a lot of this content and these resources are continuous and they're there for you. So don't feel like you have to overwhelm yourself next week with it all. But yeah, I would love to meet some of you in person or virtually again next week.
Thank you, Alexina. What I want to say is thank you, Maggie, Anna, Alexina, for all the great work you're doing. I want to thank the commissioner. It's inspired work, what you guys are doing. It's really touching to see the level of effort, the hard work that goes into it, the care that there is for small business owners. And I think that's what unites all of us. This Morning Huddle is part of that process. We're here every single Friday. I would love to see some District 5 businesses here as well. So if you can help me with that, that'd be great. We really want to connect. And at the end of the day, it's up to all of us to work together. I mean, that's the message of the Huddle from day one. It was at Mogul Maker Expo, the same thing. We're not alone in this. We are together in this. And if we all do our part, great things are going to happen. And you see them already happening. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to do it again next Friday. Thank you all so much. Give yourselves a big round of applause for a great huddle. This was an amazing one. Thank you guys so much. We'll do it again next Friday.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you too, Mr. Danilo.